Welcome back to Suhe Speaks. I'm Suhe, and today I got a very special movie to talk about, something near and dear to me. I grew up playing with these action figures. I grew up watching these shows. I absolutely am in awe. I love them. They're the freaking fantastic robots. Transformers. Yes, Transformers Rise of the Beast is out now in theater. Have you seen it? Have you not? If you haven't, I hope this review is going to help you change your mind, because I just came back from the movie and let's talk about it. While Transformers is back once again, it is not the installment with Michael Bay. If you're familiar with the 2018 version, the Bumblebee, actually not the Bumblebee, this is actually the sequel to it. Bumblebee would be the prequel. So this is a soft reboot, which I hope it keeps going. This movie was very good. There's a lot of good moments to pick up on. First thing that I enjoyed the most is the graphics. The graphics were beautiful. The details, you could tell the expression, especially the Maximal. The Maximal looks fantastic. I thought they were beautiful. I really were hoping to see more of my Maximal friends, especially the ones you saw in Beast Wars. A little bit more if I want to see more. It just, fan service to me. I'm not going to take away from what the movie was, but there were a lot of good moments. I thought the graphics were absolutely gorgeous. I thought they captured everything. Mirage was pretty dope. I am not going to lie. Even though it's Pete Davidson, everybody that did not watch the movie, they were actually shocked. Even my wife, she found out when Mirage was Pete Davidson, she's like, what? He did a good job. I really liked that he wasn't too corny, and his voice actually blended in, and it wasn't like, memorable like Aquafina. Anyone can pick that up any moment. There were a lot of high and low moments for this movie. If you've seen the previous Transformers, you can probably put together what the storyline is, because majority of the storyline is just like the villain of the week type of storyline, and that's what we love about Transformers. There were a lot of old school fans, and I think that's what this movie was catered to. So this movie's main villain is Unicorn, and Unicron. I say unicorn like the horse with the horn is the main villain. Maybe, who knows, future, it's possible. Unicron, he or it is a massive robotic planet. It just eats planets. Any planet that's indulged with energon. Energon is the thing that keeps these robots charged. It gives them power, dark surge. And in this movie, he is the primary bad guy, but he never shows up. Like, for example, Dormammu isk in a sense, but Dormammu does show up, but for a temporary time. This is like a small scale, and they're saying that he or it is going to show up, and sends one of his servants, one of his lieutenants, General Scourge, who is freaking surrounded by dark energy. He just has insane amount of dark energy, and making him stronger than the primes. So that's why you can tell that he is strong. Like, if anybody questions why was Optimus having a long time, why is Scourge the main bad guy, is because if a robot is given too much dark energy, they can overpower. It's just how it works. It makes sense with the power scaling and stuff. High moments would be the protagonist, and I would say there were two protagonists in this movie. It was Noah Diaz, who is a soldier who did not serve his country completely right. He had to leave because his brother has sickle cell disease, Chris, and he is taking care of his family, so he basically had to choose priority, which makes him look bad, because this is the 90s, and if you're not patriotic, if you're not a certain color, because there's a lot of moments in this movie where you feel the discrimination, whether it's race, gender, and is the 90s. I know it's not right, but at the same time, this was the life. I grew up in it. I seen it, so I know this is something to be true. I really love how they showed the 90s New York. I love the cop cars. There was a whole chase in the movie that was really awesome. It was done really well. There was also a moment where we see the Twin Towers. Really nice to bring it back, even though it was a small glimpse. You'll miss it if you don't pay attention, but it's there, and really nice to show that, because it is the 90s and the Twin Towers were there prior to 2000. I really liked the music. The music was really good. The lows would be no originality, in sense where I love Transformers. Transformers for me is epic, in sense where I will watch a stupid Transformers movies and equally enjoy it. Not because of that, I'm just biased when it comes to like robots, machinery, and I grew up watching Transformers, so I have a thing for like Optimus. And there was this joke Hoes Before Bros. It was used already in the first movie. This is the first movie when I said in 2007, the Michael Bay movie with Shia LaBeouf. This is when Shia LaBeouf and Bumblebee starts playing the music and Megan Fox starts walking away. And his friend, he's like, come on, bro. Shia LaBeouf is telling his friend to get out the car. And he's like, no, Hoes Before Bros. Same thing was used here in a different context. It was more so Noah asking his brother, what are the rules? And he goes, Hoes Before Bros. So I like the connection, but at the same time, it's just that if you're trying to do a reboot, make it your own. I like Noah as the protagonist. He was very good. He is caring. He's exactly what you expect to be a human version of Optimus. He was more grounded, and I felt more connected to this character than I did with Mark Wahlberg. I feel like the Mark Wahlberg movies were the worst Transformers. Mark Wahlberg is a good actor in a sense where he can only do Mark Wahlberg-ish stuff. He cannot be another person like Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is great. Even though you might think he plays Shia LaBeouf is a better actor. He was great as Transformers. The first three Transformers, they were good because of him too. He led the way. I think Noah is a good second replacement. Even though me and my kids, we like Charlie better. I think Steinfeld. I am definitely butchering her name, and I apologize. Spider-Gwen, Hawkeye, whatever you want to call it. She is great. She excels in whatever she does in. But so if she was in this movie, it would have been as good. Noah was really good. There was also his co-star. Her name was Elena in this. She was good, and I really enjoyed the difference with the Michael Bay and this type of movie. In Michael Bay is always presenting this beautiful, superficial looking model chick next to the protagonist, and in this one they actually had a female character who's so driven by the knowledge she possesses, and she's very, very useful. Not saying they weren't. In this sense, she has intellect, she has knowledge. She was actually the smartest person in the whole room every time she was on screen. It was phenomenal to see that. I really enjoyed that we get to see a strong, aspiring character like that. Now, let's talk about the villains. Scourge was super cool, man. The Terracons were really, really awesome. I really loved how they look, and I loved the graphics. Everybody looked awesome. Maximals are dope. I loved everyone. The fact that I got to see Cheetor is one of my favorite ones, especially growing up. I like Optimus Primal, and I really hoped they will go towards the Beast Wars thing, but right now I am very satisfied that I got to see this. I got to see them come on to life, and it really made the inner child me very happy, especially the last 30 minutes. Wow, the last 30 minutes were like fucking endgame, and I apologize for cursing, but I'm so freaking excited. It was so good. Even my kids watching, they're like, this is so good. It was insane action. There was non-stop chaos. The last 30 minutes is worth the price of admission. That's what I'm trying to say. Go see the movie. If you're a Transformers fan, if you're a Hasbro fan, if you ever played with Transformers, if you ever picked up a toy for yourself, if you ever seen the show, if you've seen any of the Transformers, you will really appreciate this one. This one is better than majority of them. I think Bumblebee is the best Transformers to ever get made after the first one. This can be the close second. I really enjoyed it. I hope they go further. I really like the fact there was not that many explosions. I really like the fact that there was no cliche stuff. It kept to the story. There were some comical reliefs with Mirage, but he was still fine. I actually was okay with him being the comedic stand-up of the whole movie rather than having some cheeseball doing some stupid stuff. It was okay. I wouldn't say to do it going further, but I like that. I also liked the fact that Noah and Optimus had this whole distance relation, and you could tell that in any normal, natural entity, it could be whether it's human or alien, they will have trusting issues if they get off to a bad start. And it showed the dynamics, how parallel they are, but at the same time, they're so very much in sync. Really enjoyed that, how we get to grow and learn from them. And like I said, this was a reboot to Bumblebee, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you going seeing Bumblebee. The last battle was made for my dream. I really, really appreciate that. And Bumblebee, you are and always will be the dopest fucking character, and I do not apologize for cursing at this time, in Transformers movies. And I really do appreciate you. So, have you seen Transformers? Have you gone out to theater? What movie have you seen? Are you really looking forward to this? If you have, comment below. If you haven't, what more do you want to know? I really enjoyed this, and I'm gonna stop rating the movies and giving it 1 out of 10 because, you know, at the same time, this is my my scaling. So instead of that, I was gonna say power scaling, but instead of that, I'm just gonna say, is it worth going to theater? Is it worth watching at home? What kind of format? And the answer is, go see this movie on the biggest screen possible. It was so much fun. What a fantastic movie. The hard work that went into it, the VFX, the sound, the characters, everything. The story may be cliche because you will know the ending, but this is how it is. And I really hope for the next one, they make a Transformers movie like Infinity War where they have consequences, where they suffer. I really, really want that because that brings the realism. You feel connected when somebody goes through trauma. That is very human-like, and I really feel, and not feel, I really hope they do that, and just to make it different, because I feel like that's what was the downfall of Transformers. They were a better version of Fast. Way better. I'm sorry. I apologize, Transformers. I apologize, Hasbro. Fast franchise sucks. The worst Transformer movie for me is better than that because they make more sense because they're fucking aliens, and I don't know how the hell do these freaking drag racing street car drivers somehow end up in space. It's just that anything is possible except that shit. That shit's not. So, have you seen Transformers? I have. I loved it. Must watch in theater. It's a good movie. Go see that, and I will talk to you later. Till then, Autobots! Roll out. Peace.